Hello and welcome back. Today the UPS guy brought us a little present here from Amazon. This is an Amazon Basics product, which tells you that this is something that is normally sold that is overpriced in retailers, because that's usually where Amazon focuses on their Amazon Basics brand of products. In this case here, this is going to be a paper shredder. I had an old one that I had for about 4 or 5 years, not from Amazon, but a different brand, and when I was shopping around in the stores trying to find a paper shredder, I thought they were all more expensive than what they needed to be, so I found one on Amazon, and I was very surprised to see that the Amazon Basics brand was there, which you normally see with cables that are all overpriced if you buy regular price cables. So top of the box here, we've got our instruction guides here. So we've got an instructions sheet here on the 6-sheet cross-cut paper shredder. Here we go, we've got this little test here saying that it has passed quality assurance testing. We've got this card here, it says it's passed essentially a quality inspection. We've got our usual instructions here on how to use a paper shredder. To plug it in, and it has to cool down, it runs on electricity. Do not use canned air to clean it out. Blah blah blah. Please read the instructions that come with it. Paper shredders can be damaging, especially if you've got kids around and if you don't protect them. So please use some common sense. And we have our instruction manual. But let's get to the goodies here. And so this box, I was actually surprised at how small the box was. So if we pull off the first thing here, and you can see what we've got, is we've got the shredder motor is inside the can. So if we take this off here, you can see here is essentially the guts of the shredder. And here we've got an auto, off, and reverse switch here. A warning here about a risk of fire. A reminder here, this is for 6 sheets maximum. A little extra spot here for thicker things like credit cards that you might get when you get an old one, or your bank sends you new ones, or you get the little silly ones that the credit card company sends you, trying to get you to open up a new credit card account. Of course, your customary warning sign. And we have a plug. This is a polarized plug with one side slightly larger than the other, so that'll go in your outlet only one way. Molded in here to the plastic, no hands, so no screwdrivers, no neckties, no aerosol cans, no long hair, no babies, but books are okay, or paper is okay. And a little warning sign over there. On the back side over here, you can see the jaws and the teeth here. I'll go through and grind the paper down. Now I would expect here on one of the sides that I'm not, actually here it is, right back up here, tucked in here, maybe you can see it right about here. There's a little switch here that tells it's on top of the can. Usually paper shredders have some sort of a little guide there so that it's inoperable unless it's actually on top of its can. So you can't just hold it and run it free. And then the next thing out of the box, and I'm anticipating this is the last thing, is actually the container. And that's it for the box. So we'll set the box aside. We'll unwrap the container and take out of it extra little corrugation. And now we've got the container. There's a nice little lip right here. We'll sculpt it all the way around, and then we'll put our shredder onto the top of the container. And we'll see how this goes. I'm going to guess it goes like this, which it looks like it does. And so there's a little gap right here. Presumably that's for your bag, and a couple slots on either side for lifting this out. This is actually nice because some of the older ones I had, it was very hard to be able to actually pop the motor out to be able to empty the bag. So now to look at typical bag size. So for a bag size here, I've got just a regular bag. You can guess the store that that's from in the comments below. But just as a bag that you might be able to find at many other places around the country. Some of you may actually already have, and if you're looking for a way to recycle them. My old paper shredder, I was able to use bags like this or from other stores just fine. And so let's just give this a quick test to see if that will fit here. And it looks like, indeed, you can fit just an ordinary shopping bag. So if you're looking for a way to recycle it, or I suppose quasi-recycle it, put your motor back on, and now you've got your clippings all bagged up. So now let's plug this in see how it sounds, and we'll run some paper through and take a look at the shreds. Okay, I've got the shredder plugged in. Let's go ahead. Normally, you'll notice there is no actual on. There's usually an auto feed switch, and somewhere in down here is a little trigger that you have to hit with your piece of paper to turn it on. You get your reverse for unclogging jams, so let's go ahead and put it onto auto, and usually it'll grind for just a little bit. In this case here, it was absolutely silent. And now I've got a set of the credit card checks that I get periodically from one of my bank accounts that drive me nuts, so I'm going to go ahead and drop this into the shredder. Just as simple as that, I ground that up. Now let's flip this off and look at the grindings from the shredder. Definitely much quieter than I was expecting. If we look at what's left in the teeth, there's a little bit of residuals on the one side, so not too bad, fairly clean. If we look at the size of the shreds that it generated, if we find just a typical one here, so this is maybe about a 1/4 inch wide by about 1.5 inches long, and you can see there's a whole box of those little shred strips right there from what I just shredded here. That was 2 pages thick. I just folded it over. Alright, for testing purposes here on the shredder, this shredder here is rated at 2.2 amps at 120 volts. So then to give this a quick test here, I've got a multimeter set up here with a current clamp and an AC line splitter, and we're going to see if what they're claiming is actually true. So as this is plugged into the wall, this is on the times 10 side. So I take this meter, the reading here on my meter, and divide it by 10. And so now at no load, we're at about 0.4 amps. And now, let me begin shredding a few papers here, and let's see what that number jumps to. Remember, we have to divide this number by 10. So 0.8. That was just with a small sheet. Let me put together 4 sheets of paper at the same time. So that got up to about 1.2 amps. That was with 4 sheets. Let's try a thicker amount of paper. Alright, we got a couple envelopes, a couple sheets of paper here. We're all going to go at the same time. So at about 1.3 amps, well, that's actually pretty close to what the product is rated at 2.2 amps. And so this is a quick look at the Amazon Basics paper shredder. You will find the model and number in the description below. So I hope you found this useful, and if you're interested in a paper shredder, this looks like an interesting one to give it a try. Thanks, and have a great day.